May 29th, 1453. Before dawn, the earth trembles beneath the walls of Constantinople. Ottoman war drums thunder through the darkness as thousands of soldiers surge toward the shattered defenses. On the ramparts, the defenders fight desperately to hold the city. At the center of the battle stands a Genoese commander, Giovanni Giustiniani. For weeks, he has led the defense of the land walls against the greatest army the city has ever faced. But in the chaos of the final assault, something happens that may decide the fate of Constantinople. A single moment, a single wound, and the last capital of the Roman Empire begins to fall.
Across the Mediterranean, troubling rumors begin to spread. Merchants arriving from the eastern seas carry alarming news. The Ottoman Sultan, Mehmed II, is gathering a massive army. His destination is no secret: Constantinople. For more than 1,000 years, the great city has stood between Europe and Asia. Its emperors still claim the legacy of Rome itself. But the empire that once ruled half the Mediterranean has been shrinking for generations. Now, little remains beyond the city itself. Yet, Constantinople still possesses something that has protected it for centuries: walls. The Theodosian Walls stretch across the western side of the city in 3 immense defensive lines of towers, ramparts, and gates. For nearly 1,000 years, they have stopped every army that tried to take the city: Persians, Arabs, Bulgarians, even crusading armies. But this time, the attackers bring something new: gunpowder. And the man leading that army is determined to succeed where others failed. Constantinople begins calling for soldiers across the Mediterranean. Many rulers hesitate. Few believe the city can survive what is coming. But in Genoa, war is a profession. My name is Giovanni Giustiniani Longo, and defending cities is my trade. I was born in the city of Genoa in the year 1418. Genoa rises along the rugged coast of northern Italy and stands among the great maritime republics of the Mediterranean. Ships crowd the harbor, carrying goods between continents. Grain arrives from the Black Sea. Silks and spices come from the eastern Mediterranean. Genoese merchants maintain trading colonies across distant ports, and wherever those merchants travel, they require protection. So Genoa produces soldiers as readily as it produces sailors. Many Genoese men serve as mercenaries, hired by cities and rulers across the Mediterranean world. That is the life I choose. I am not a noble lord commanding armies for a king. I am a professional soldier. A man hired to defend fortified cities wherever war threatens them. Defending a city is a very particular kind of war. Battles fought in open fields can be decided quickly. A cavalry charge or the collapse of an infantry line may end a battle within hours. But a siege is different. A siege is patience. It is the slow struggle between attackers and defenders, between cannon and stone walls, between endurance and exhaustion. The attackers dig trenches and move artillery closer to the walls. They build ladders and siege towers and search for weak points in the defenses. The defenders rebuild shattered walls, strengthen towers, and prepare for the next assault. Sometimes a siege lasts months, sometimes years. By the winter of 1452, I have spent much of my life learning this kind of warfare. Yet nothing I have seen will compare to what awaits us in Constantinople. In Genoa, soldiers like me gather wherever war calls. The Emperor of Constantinople is seeking experienced defenders, and word spreads quickly among the mercenary companies of the city. The defense of a great capital is not an opportunity easily ignored. So I begin recruiting. Veterans first, men who have stood on walls before. Many carry the heavy crossbows for which Genoese soldiers are famous throughout Europe. A Genoese crossbowman trains for years to master his weapon. The steel bow is powerful enough to drive a heavy bolt through armor, but it requires strength and discipline to load and fire under pressure. These are not inexperienced recruits. They are professionals, exactly the kind of soldiers needed to defend a city. By the time winter begins to fade, several hundred soldiers have joined me. Our ships are ready, and soon we sail east. Winter seas are rarely gentle. Our ships cross the Aegean beneath cold winds and dark skies. Some nights the sea is calm, and the stars reflect across the water. Other nights, storms lash the decks and waves crash against the hull. The men speak often of the city we are sailing toward. Some have seen Constantinople before. Others know it only through stories. They speak of the immense walls that have turned back armies for centuries. They speak of churches whose domes shine with golden mosaics, and of the great cathedral of Hagia Sophia, whose vast dome rises above the skyline. Every man aboard understands the same truth. We are sailing toward history. At last, the city appears on the horizon. Even the most experienced soldiers fall silent. Constantinople rises above the sea like something from another age. Great stone walls stretch across the western land approaches in massive defensive lines. Church domes shimmer in the sunlight, and above them all stands the vast dome of Hagia Sophia. The harbor of the Golden Horn is crowded with ships, Venetian merchant vessels, Genoese trading ships, Greek fishing boats moving between the docks. Along the waterfront, merchants unload cargo from wooden crates and clay amphorae, while traders shout in half a dozen languages. Constantinople is more than a city. It is a world. And that world is preparing for war. Soon after our arrival, I'm summoned to meet the Emperor. Emperor Constantine XI receives me in the imperial palace. The great hall is filled with nobles, officers, and clergy of the Byzantine court. Golden mosaics cover the walls, and icons of saints watch over the gathering. The emperor stands before his court, wearing the purple robes of his office. Years of struggle have hardened him, yet he carries himself with calm determination. The Ottoman army is gathering. A siege is inevitable. "We cannot match their numbers," he tells the nobles assembled before him. "But these walls have defended our city for centuries." Then he turns toward me. "You understand the defense of fortified cities. I need men who know how to hold a wall." He places me in command of the most dangerous section of Constantinople's defenses, the land walls near the gate of St. Romanus. The ground before this gate forms a shallow valley where attacking armies can move artillery close to the walls. If the Ottomans intend to break the city, it will likely be here. One morning I climb the towers and scan the distant hills. At first the countryside lies quiet. Then banners begin to appear on the horizon, more and more of them. Soon the fields beyond the walls are filled with movement. The Ottoman army has arrived. Thousands of tents spread across the countryside. Red banners, bearing the crescent symbol of the Sultan, snap in the wind. Columns of soldiers march through the growing camp. Infantry, archers, cavalry, and the Janissaries. The Sultan's elite infantry. They drill in disciplined formations, wearing polished armor and tall white felt headdresses. At the center of the camp stands the richly decorated pavilion of Sultan Mehmed himself. But another sight draws every eye on the walls: a massive bronze cannon. It has been built by a Hungarian engineer named Orban. The Byzantines could not afford his work. The Ottomans could. Teams of oxen drag the enormous weapon across the countryside, while soldiers haul its massive stone ammunition behind it. Even before the cannon fires, every defender on the walls understands what it means. The Ottomans intend to break the walls with gunpowder. At dawn, the cannon fires. The explosion shakes the earth beneath our feet. Moments later, a section of the outer wall shatters beneath the impact. For the first time in centuries, the defenses of Constantinople face weapons capable of destroying them. But my men do not yield. By day, the Ottoman artillery pounds the walls. By night, we rebuild them. Soldiers work beside fishermen, monks, merchants, and craftsmen. Torches burn along the ramparts as exhausted men carry stones, timber, and earth to repair the shattered defenses. Again and again, Ottoman soldiers rush the breaches. Again and again, we drive them back. The siege stretches on, week after week, and still the city stands. Then suddenly, the cannon fire stops. After weeks of thunder, the silence feels unnatural. I climb the wall and look out across the Ottoman camp. Torches burn in the darkness. Soldiers gather in formation. Every defender on the walls understands what is about to happen. The final assault is coming. Before dawn, the Ottoman army advances. Drums thunder across the battlefield. Arrows darken the sky. Wave after wave of soldiers surge toward the shattered walls. My Genoese crossbowmen fire again and again. Janissaries press forward through the rubble with relentless discipline. Steel crashes against steel. Men shout in half a dozen languages. Stone crumbles beneath our feet. Then suddenly, something strikes me. A violent blow. Pain surges through my body. My legs give way beneath me. For weeks, my men have held this wall. Now I cannot stand. My soldiers are carrying me away from the fighting.
Giovanni Giustiniani was carried from Constantinople aboard a Genoese ship. His wound proved fatal. A few days later, he died on the island of Chios. Soon after his removal from the walls, Ottoman forces broke through the defenses near the gate of St. Romanus. With the fall of Constantinople, an empire that had endured for more than 1,000 years came to an end. The last capital of the Roman Empire had fallen. If you enjoy stories exploring the people and moments that shaped history, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And join us next time as we continue exploring the forces that shaped history.